Welcome back everyone to Showing Off. This is a series of 3 videos about Civilization V. This video is going to be dedicated to my personal opinions of the game compared to the other Civ games I've played and compared to Alpha Centauri, which was made by the same people and is referred to also as Sid Meier's. If you'd like to watch the options video or if you'd like to watch the gameplay video, I will put links to both of those on the screen. They're both kind of long. This one will hopefully be a little bit shorter. So we're gonna start here, loading this game while I talk about some of the stuff that I like and some of the stuff that I don't like. So the first thing I should mention is that there are long loading screens, which you don't have to see because I just skipped it. Civilization V is different from the other games. It's way more graphically intensive, first of all, and that's to be expected, but I think they did a disservice with the graphics, because, sure, the graphics are really, really pretty, and you can look at some nice, very impressive details. Like, you can see the cows that are in this cattle tile, and you can see the people that are inside this tile. You can see, like, you can even look at, almost see details on their weapons. Like, this guy's halberd is clearly different from that guy's spear, and this guy's mounted, and they have different helmets and stuff like that. You can see trees, you can see individual plots of land. So yeah, graphically, it looks really pretty. Here, let's just get rid of the resource icons and the yield icons, the grid, and just look at the map. It's really pretty, and scrolling through it is, that's nice. That's really nice. You can see here, there's a city there, the wall, kind of a silly wall, because most of the city is outside it. Here's a city that's mostly inside a wall, a little bit outside, because it's a big city. Down here, I have my capital, and I have some other things, like there's an academy. There's some mines floating around, and it just looks really pretty. But, as you saw there, if I start going too quickly, it runs into loading trouble, and maybe your game won't have this. Additionally, this is set on low, so if you set all your graphic options much higher, that might look much nicer. See, there's a lot of border tension right here. It's going to explode one of these days. It's a pretty looking game, but it's hard to play. And when you put all of the useful information on, yeah, there's just... So Alpha Centauri handled resources very differently. Alpha Centauri said that these resources right here would be be part of the game tile, instead of here being an extra thing on top of the game tile. Now if you zoom in really close, it doesn't make a big difference. Like, I can read all of that relatively fine, and the resource a resource. Oh, look at this. I have a lot of technologies. Genghis Khan has a lot, Boudica has a lot. Okay, good to know. So if you zoom in really close, that's great. But that doesn't even solve the graphical lag issues. And you can't see a whole lot when you're zoomed in. Unlike Alpha Centauri, where you could be zoomed out at about this level or so, and you could see reasonably well. Now, granted, Alpha Centauri doesn't have all of the yield icons, and that's not super important late in the game. That's important early in the game, but it's not important late in the game. So I could just turn those off, and it wouldn't be as big a deal. But there are times when it is a big deal. And they've done the best to mitigate that, kind of. So right above here, you'll see that a little tooltip pops up, telling me about that thing, about that tile. And if I let my mouse sit there long enough, a tooltip pops up telling me even more information. Well, kind of the same information about that tile, but it just looks bigger, that's all. So they've done the best to kind of sort of mitigate this, but yeah. This view of the game, I like this better. It's faster. Everything in the game runs so much faster, smoother. I know exactly what each tile is. More detailed stuff here. if I want the yield icons on, it's not as pretty, but I get to see everything at a glance, which is important. It's also important when you're out at sea, because you know when land is coming up. So I've got a unit out here that's ready to move. Let's go ahead and move him. Units are improved a bit since their other game. See, there's a map thing again here. Like, you can only do any like religious stuff while looking at this. Otherwise, you have to enter the screen. And even this, just it tells you about a lot of things, but it doesn't really tell you about religion very well. You have to go over here. Whereas here, there's a lot of information that's just not available in tactical view. So it depends a lot on what you're doing and whether you want to see, this or that. What should I do with this guy? I don't know. Now, religion is kind of a weird thing about this game. And I also mentioned units, so let's see. I guess for big gameplay issues, the things that annoy me about this game are the religion and the city-states. Those are the things that most annoy me. It used to be in Civilization Revolution, and I think a little bit in earlier Civ games, I got a little annoyed. I'd get a little annoyed by the way tech progressed. But that by itself was not a huge deal. In Civilization Revolution it was, because it just... yeah. It was a bigger deal because tech progression was very strange. In this game, tech progression is a little bit better, and it can be handled by changing the length of the game. And though I don't think that's the appropriate way to handle it. You can also change the size of the game through options, so you should see my options menu. And I think that's also very important because this map is pretty small. It's a standard size map, but it feels small. Like, everyone feels really close together. And I found everyone very quickly. In a huge size Alpha Centauri map, that doesn't happen. But then again, that would happen in a standard size Alpha Centauri map. Maybe if this were different, maybe if it were a huge size map, I wouldn't feel that way. The thing is, normally, unless you go into the advanced options, a huge size map comes with even more players. So you have to be clever enough to go into the advanced options and watch out for that. Looks like someone's trying to spread Christianity way up here. I should maybe send a unit up there. Give me somebody. Lots of stuff happens in between. And that's the other big thing that annoys me. So what were they? Oh, it was city-state. City-state stuff. And I guess the religion stuff. And then the in-between. I spend more time waiting for one turn to end and go to the next turn than I do, yeah. Spread religion. Oh, good, okay. Spread religion there. Stuff will happen. So, religion. Let's talk that.
You now have a ranged unit.
I've always had ranged units. Thank you. Advisors. Okay, so religion, what does it do for you? Nothing. Well, that's not true. It gives you some weird little benefits. Can I find it on here? Religion overview. Here we go.
I have some information that may be
I'm sure you do. The religion overview tells us here, look what we've done. And this, don't get offended, religious folks, this is just a name based on real life. If you don't like that, you could take a symbol, whatever, pick whatever symbol you like for your religion and name it something else. This name and symbol does nothing for the game. Like, the game has absolutely no opinion about one religion versus another, which is good. All religions do is they give you some benefits. So I get some science when a missionary prophet spreads my religion to someone else. And every city that follows my religion gets extra food from shrines and temples. Okay. I'm getting some very faithy stuff, I'm getting stuff. It's nice. We can look at world religions. But that's the thing, it doesn't... It gives me a small benefit, but it makes it a larger part of the game. Now granted, it's an expansion. This is an expansion of the game, and you don't really even have to care. Which is like, okay, so then why bother with it? Kinda. It's a good question. Beliefs. There's all the various beliefs you can get with this. Oh, no, these are the beliefs that are currently given. Interesting. Christianity comes with mosques. Okay. Like, it's an important part of the game, but it's also completely optional. There's no penalty for not founding a religion. And religions can cross international borders. Like, I spread some religion in here. And she spread religion over here. And so we can have religious wars. You can make a big deal about it if you want. But if you don't, if Zoroastrianism gets wiped out in the next couple turns, it won't matter. And that annoys me a little bit. Why'd you put why'd you put something in here that doesn't matter? I guess it's just an extra dimension to the game, and since it is an expansion, it's no big deal whether it matters or not. It's just an extra dimension to the game. It's given, you know, in case you want to have a little something to it. But I'm not a huge fan of it, despite the fact that I am doing what I can to make sure my religion, and that's just me being competitive. So this is where the resource icons are really useful when you're doing stuff with workers. Production. Somebody has to build something. Is there anything that would increase your production of stuff? No. We can increase happiness, units. Let's build you a castle. Oh, and Neapolis needs something as well. It also needs a castle. I think I'm going to go to war with them soon. So that's religion. It's just a thing I think was silly. And it preys on, like, I'm letting it prey on me, which is a little, it's a little silly. What else? What else is most annoying about this? Crap, I already forgot. I guess that's a good thing. Moving these guys. Ethiopia's protecting Hanoi. Okay, city-states. That's it. City-states, influence, and gold is... Oh, wrong button. Here's one. Okay, so this whole thing about city-states is it's another completely optional, but ultimately not useful. And in fact, actually, I would argue it's unhelpful. Because the benefits that religion gives you are decent, and there are some things to do that enhance religion and blah blah blah. The benefits that city-states give you is very small. Like, every 17 turns, every 17 turns, I get a new military unit, which is okay. You know, I don't have to build them, but I could build them faster than this guy can. So why do I need to be friends with him? Well, he gives me access to silver, I guess. Maybe. I mean, those are benefits, sure. But look at what you need to have to get those benefits. You need to give gold, and a lot of gold. Gold can otherwise be used to buy units and buildings, and it can be used to expand your cities. And it can be used to upgrade units, upgrade older units to newer units. It can also be used in diplomacy. So while I wish gold were more useful, although I wish gold were more useful back in Alpha Centauri as well, you have to spend gold all the time on these guys, and the reason you have to spend it all the time is because this influence, the thing that makes you friends or allies, the thing that gets you benefits with them, this influence meter decreases constantly, which is really annoying. Now, some civilizations are a little better about that than others. And some city-states are a little better about that than others, but it's just really annoying that every so often, like in 18 turns, if I want them to be my ally, I'm going to have to give them more gold. Now, I'm getting a lot of gold, so it's not a problem for me now, like in late game stuff, but it is a problem early game. And because of the efficiency of various gold things, gold gifts, it's not super efficient to give them a small amount of gold. It's most efficient to give them a lot. But I can't really do that very effectively because, you know, it's expensive. Wow, there were 2 continents in this world. One here, one there, and everyone else spawned on this one except for England. That's kind of impressive. So there's map generation. Okay, so diplomacy, I kind of understand this, and I like the diplomacy system a lot. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's much better than Alpha Centauri, and it's much clearer than older Civ games like Civ Rev or Civ 2. This is really well done. Like, I can easily add stuff to the deal, and I can take stuff away, and I can alter it. And in fact, this deal is one that we've had going on for a long time. And if, as he said, shall we renew this deal and strengthen our nations in friendship, blah, blah, blah. We've had this deal going on for a long time. It's great. And whenever it expires, it lasts for 30 turns, whenever it expires, he'll come back and say, oh, can we do it again? Proposing new deals is really hard. But at the same time, if the AI really wants something from you, it knows it has to give you quite a bit. So I've been trying for a long time to get certain resources like marble and wine through trade, since I can't expand over them.
Architecture begins where engineering ends.
That's great. Yay. We're just gonna... They're horsemen, they can't do anything. Sooner or later I'm gonna get rid of them. Let's come down here and do something. To do some research. So, diplomacy, I like it. I really like the diplomacy. I don't like the city-state crap. And I'm kind of neutral, though I think religion's annoying. I don't hate it, I just think it's annoying. I really dislike the city-state stuff. The idea of city-states is cool, but I think the way they handled it is really poor. I really wish they'd handled it better. It'd be nice. It would have been nice, but it's no big deal if they didn't. I'm a big Science-Gate. So here's another civilization down here. It looks like I still saw some archers or something. So other things I like about this game, compared to others. Well, attrition. Oh, ha 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 ha. He's having trouble being in my... Yeah, I don't like him around here. Anyways, things I like about this game. The religion system is, even though I griped about it, as a little annoying, it's kind of a cool thing to add. No other games added that. I just wish they'd done it differently and done a little bit better. And made it more important. Like I said, the city-state thing is a cool concept, but handled poorly. But what do I really like about this? Well, I really like the tactical view, for one. I don't know why I'm not using it. I like the prettiness of the game. The engine, the basic game engine, is working really well. And now that I've gotten into the mid to late era of the game, everything is going fairly smoothly. I'm able to run the game like I would in Alpha Centauri, and I don't feel like I'm constantly behind. Get over the mine there. There's Canterbury of the Tales. Production, it goes well late game. Does not go well early game. Things are very tough to build early game, and things are much easier to build in late game. Like, look at this. These things are pretty easy to build late game. Most importantly, the buildings and the people are pretty easy to build late game. But they're hard. They're really hard to build early game. Let's see. Extra great person. Another golden age. Some unhappiness nonsense. Happiness is weird. It's acceptable. Sistine Chapel. Plus culture. Let's go with that one. I want the culture. Okay, so culture. That's a big thing I really like about this game. The culture thing is really cool. Darn, Christianity. The way culture is, the way you build it, the way you spread it, and the fact that it affects not only the social policy stuff, but it also affects the size of your cities. And the more culture you have, the bigger cities they are, the more stuff they can have in them. Like, see all this purple on the map down here? That's because I have a lot of culture. You can see it, a lot of culture, pretty high up there. And this whole business about the size of Rome's territory right here and how quickly this grows is tied into culture. And there are a lot of buildings that work it really well. You can play the game without culture, just like you can play the game without religion. But culture actually leads to victory conditions, whereas religion doesn't. Culture is important to the game, and it's easy to enhance your culture, and it gives you this. Religion doesn't give you the same benefits that culture does. You get some benefits from religion, but it's very much a tacked-on thing, very much a side thing, whereas culture, I get these huge benefits from this. So if I take this, for example, suddenly purchasing items costs less gold in every city, and I get +1 science from mints, markets, banks, and stock exchanges, which I'm tempted to take, because science. On the other hand, I could take something over here, like aristocracy. I get more production for wonders, and plus more happiness stuff. Get some monarchy, more gold, and less unhappiness for my capital. Or I could start doing some rationalism. Get science from specialists, or happiness from stuff. And of course, when I clean this up, I get 2 free texts, so even though I really like that benefit, the mastery bonus is pretty good too, but the mastery bonus from this is really, really important. So let's take food. Take, no, well, fine, we'll go with that one. Yeah, okay. There we go, we're a little bit closer. And like I said, it's a victory condition, so I really like the culture system. Oh, good. I like the engine, as I said before. I see something I need to do real quick. If I can get in here. Here we go.
Bushido is realized in the presence of death. This means choosing death whenever there is a choice between life and death. There is no other reasoning.
Okay then. Nice. Alright. So, I get a small bonus. Nice artwork. Built a wonder of the world. I'm gonna buy this real quick. There's a use of gold. That will protect my trade route, by the way. Very important for holding on to my gold. What can I say? I hoard gold. I'm thrifty. Leave me alone. I was gonna say something. Oh yes, about conquering cities. Attacking cities is harder in this game than it is in Alpha Centauri. And conquering cities gives you some really weird benefits and some really weird just things in general. When you conquer a city, I've conquered the city, Harar. First of all, you need siege weaponry. You will not do it without siege weaponry, which is fine. When you conquer this city, though, you have some choices. You can either annex it and make it part of your own, like this city is, which causes some unhappiness, but that unhappiness can be fixed, I think. And you can control everything about the city, and it's your own, just like Alpha Centauri. You can raise the city, just destroy it. You actually do have that option in Alpha Centauri, though I don't know why anyone would ever do that. Or, like this city is a puppet state. And as a puppet state, it gives me gold, science, culture, all that stuff. All the passive things that it normally does. But it gives me some unhappiness. And I can't choose this production. I can look at it, but I can't choose its production. So it's built a lot of stuff. It's done pretty well for itself. I suspect that if I were to annex it, it would I would be able to change the production and not just change production. I'd be able to do other stuff too, like fix. When did I meet Jerusalem? Oh, cool. They're I get faith for them. Oh, they're okay. Huh. That's neat, I guess. Woohoo. I got some faith just from meeting. Oh, there it is. I'm just exploring. Exploration's cool. Hail Selassie, England protecting Jerusalem. That's great. I'm at Jerusalem. Yeah, I can buy faith, and Neapolis is ready for construction. So, overall, do I like the game? Do I not? It's a good question. My first reaction to the game was no. But I bought the game, and it was on sale for some on Steam, pretty cheap, so I bought the game, and I've been playing it, and I've been playing it fairly regularly. I do like it. Do I like it more than Alpha Centauri? On the one hand, it has more options. More factions are available. The gameplay is a bit quicker so that you can test things, go through stuff a bit faster, and in some respects there's more depth to the game. The addition of city-states and religion and culture adds depth into the game that was not there before. On the other hand, I think they messed up with the graphics. The graphics are just not very well done. They are pretty. They are pretty. But in a game like this, pretty only counts for so much. Like, this level of detail is not necessary. And I'm not even sure I really even want to see it. I want it instead to be able to see a better grid. I want this tactical view. And I like this tactical view better. So I think that it was very, very intelligent of them to include it. But I wish they had made their original, like the regular view, the graphically nice view. I wish they had made that one closer to this, where I could see yields better. Like, just even looking at it, it's just hard to see yields. When you go into a city, you're like, well, what does that make? Just obnoxious. So there are things about the game I wish they would improve, or wish they had improved. And I would like to see those improved next time in Civ 6. But I do think it's a good game. It is worth buying if it goes on sale again. I don't know if it's worth buying if it's not on sale. If you already have a Civ game, no. Alpha Centauri is pretty much freeware. It's kind of like abandonware. So yeah, that's nice. Alpha Centauri is cheaper, and it gives you about the same experience. It doesn't look as pretty, and it's older, blah 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 blah, but it's about the same experience, and it's a really good experience. So there we go. There's my opinion on Civilization 5, and that's my series of 3 videos about Civilization 5. If you've enjoyed, that is awesome. I'm really glad to hear it. If you have not enjoyed, well, oh well. Sorry. Did my best. If you'd like to know more about the options about this game, or the game setup, or the different civilizations that are in the game and the benefits they give you, there is a link on screen to go watch that video. It's long and it's detailed, but if you want that information, it's there. If instead you'd like to see information about the gameplay and know more about what I'm doing here, and not just hear me talk about stuff, if you'd like to know what all this stuff on the screen means, so that you don't feel so lost or whatever, then you can go click on the video to go look at that. And in any case, thanks for watching, and until next time, don't catch on fire.